Hi, Reverend Pam Geagan here from the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley in Camarillo, California. And once again, on a very rainy day, which I'm happy about because I love the rain, so I'm in my element. I'm recording from my home because of COVID. So I'm calling my talk from Passover to Rebirth because this week we are celebrating Passover. It's actually the second night of Passover coming up tonight. And so, for those who are celebrating, I say Mazel Tov and happy, happy Passover. And so, what I know for sure is in this Passover, in this Holy Week time where we are celebrating Passover and also the rebirth of the Christ consciousness in and through this planet, the message has always helped me think about what I know today is from what I learned in the past, and also how I'm leading my life with those wonderful spiritual lessons, and also helps me vision into a greater tomorrow. So Susan Clicero said, we look to the past to see what we are able to project into the future, and perhaps with that knowledge, imagine and create a new vision on how to do things differently. Passover is also a message of hope. It shows us that we can remain in that place of knowing and trusting there's something greater than we are, working in and through and as us I call God. It is that rock which we can rely upon, that we hold ourselves accountable in these times to staying strong in those highest ideals and choosing our thoughts and knowing that our choices and our actions and what we do will reach that promised land, metaphorically Jerusalem for the Jews, and to me it means reaching heaven on earth while I'm still here. I'm not saying we have to leave so soon, not so soon. We still have time here to create heaven on earth, and I think if we're here, we have chosen this path to take on this cape, so to speak, and create something greater. So in these tough times, it takes tough people to stay on the road less traveled and continue to shine our light into the darkness. And Reverend Dr. Robert Schuller wrote, uh, tough times never last, tough people do. Any fool can count the seeds in an apple. Only God can count all the apples in one seed. I'd rather attempt to do something that would fail than to attempt to do nothing and succeed. Right now, when it appears we're doing nothing by social distancing and staying sequestered, we're actually being very heroic. For our lives and all lives in the hands of those worldwide are together in this. And breath by breath, we are holding back. We're using our masks and everything else. We're not touching one another. We're social distancing at least 6 feet apart. I'm staying 10 feet apart and not spreading the virus publicly. So we're doing what we need to do and stepping up in this desire to remain on this planet and to see it create heaven on earth with our consciousness at the forefront. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is one of my new heroes, and he has started a campaign called Who Are We Staying at Home For? So I'm going to ask you to ask yourself, who are you staying at home for and social distancing for? I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for my friends. I'm doing it for our spiritual community. And I'm doing it for the globe, for the whole world, because we now know that whatever I do in this web of life affects everyone. So when you are disciplined and when you remain in and you stay sequestered, you are absolutely staying tough, as I say, uh, in this unified field. And being loving is tough because being able to love and be loving is one of the hardest things we can ever do when there are circumstances above which we may choose to rise above in our relationships and our relationships even with our faith sometimes. In this holy time this week, it is the time for not only honoring Passover, but celebrating the rising up of the love of the Christ consciousness, as I said earlier, in our hearts and holding compassion for all in our hearts this coming Easter Sunday, and for all those rising above, choosing the easy way, the low road, as I say, or taking the high road. So many of us absolutely are being offered this opportunity to either be pushed by fear or pulled by faith, as I always say. And I would rather be pulled by faith than pushed by fear into a higher consciousness, into a higher vision, and choose that higher vision to know that it serves me, serves the planet, and let go of what no longer serves me. That higher vision is what we call, what the Jews call Jerusalem, what I call heaven on earth, and what may be what you call just peace and quiet and love in your heart, and knowing that God is I am. That is the greatest rebirth we can come into. So the global message from the Passover story to the current rising up is one of helping us to create new paradigms on how to live on this planet, and using all those qualities that the Christ brought to us, because what he wanted most was to know that the Father and I are one, that which he was just the divine expressing in and through and as him, and that same power is in and through all of us, and that in this unity, in this oneness of going back to source, that we can choose that higher consciousness to turn to, especially in times of crisis. He also, besides oneness, he wanted unity, love, acceptance, forgiveness, tolerance, and inclusiveness. For all those qualities are what we are now being asked to exhibit right here, right now, during this challenge in this global pandemic. The banquet table, as I always say, is set. The banquet table is set with every food imaginable you could ever want, with all the correct tools, the silverware, which I call the spiritual tools, in which to choose the most delicious foods and the greatest way of being. You can choose healthy, you can choose sweet, whatever it is, but those thoughts and the utensils are the tools to create a world that is working for all. It lies before us right here, and we are now creating it. Heart by heart by heart. It takes only the resolve of letting go of that which no longer is working for us, and embracing all the sweetness that life can offer, for us to rise up above all of the challenges and envision something greater than this thing that we are dealing with right now, this coronavirus, and knowing that the greatness of the God within us is unfolding in all situations absolutely perfectly, and that this new paradigm that offers all the qualities of a heaven on earth will manifest not only in and through us, but it is manifesting all through life. And what I know for sure is that the earth will continue spinning, and life will go on living through this pandemic. The sun will come tomorrow and rise tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow throughout eternity in this divine dance. Our Mother Earth doesn't need us, neither does life. But our Mother Gaia, our Mother Lovely Mother Earth, will ensure and continue to recreate herself, returning this beautiful blue perfect island, what we call home, back into balance. That is her job, is to remain in balance in her body. And now what we know is this virus has shown us that we don't live in a little part of the world. We are a part of the world, but on this global island, we affect all of it in this web of life. So whatever we do to one, as I always say, we do to all. And the greatest example is happening in real time on our planet right now. We may have moved into this life, into our home, Mother Earth, but we are not the master craftsman or the master architect. Something greater than we are, the builder, is happening in and through and as us. And that builder is what I call God. And it is chipping away from everything that is slowing us down and changing the balance and the health of everything around us. It is the destroyer, it is the creator, it is the rebuilder. It's like the Hindus say, there is the destroyer and the creator. And without the destroyer, we cannot recreate something greater than where we already were. I too believe in all of you. And also, as Winston Churchill said, he said in World War II, I don't know what's going to come, and we will probably, it may be worse, but the one thing I believe in is all of you. And as I just said, I believe in all of you, and I continue to hold that high watch for what I know that together we are creating right here and right now. It takes more, it takes all of our consciousness and all of the effort that we are putting into creating that world that works forever by just staying home. I think that's the funniest little cartoon where they says, we can do this. Our fathers fought in all the world wars, our forefathers and our fathers fought in all the world wars. We can stay on our couch and watch TV and read and be together in this oneness. Some of us, some of the lyrics of Monty Python's song, which is called the Galaxy Song, is what I'll close with. When things seem hard or tough, and people are stupid, obnoxious, or daft, and you feel that you've had quite enough, just remember that you're standing on a planet that's evolving and revolving at 900 miles an hour. The sun and you and me and all the stars that we can see are moving at 1,000,000 miles a day in an outer spiral arm at 40,000 miles an hour. In this galaxy we call the Milky Way. It's 100,000 light years side to side, and our galaxy is only one of millions of billions in this amazing and expanding universe. The universe itself keeps on expanding and expanding in all the directions. It can whiz as fast as it can go, the speed of light, 12 million miles a minute, and that's the fastest speed there is. So remember, when you're feeling very small and insecure, how amazing, unlikely is your birth, and pray that there's intelligent life somewhere else up in space, because there's bugger all down here on Earth. Let's not bugger this up, I say. So have a wonderful day. The Buddha always said, every morning we are born again. What we can do today is what matters most. Have a great day, make great choices, and enjoy all of the quiet around you and all of the family and friends that you can be with. So I love each and every one of you. God is the power and the presence behind it all. And I say namaste, peace out. See you Sunday.